Jason here with the Oklahoma Child Care Resource and Referral Association. Welcome back to our tutorial series on the WLS database portal. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Referral tab, how to enter one in, and doing a preliminary search for child care options. A lot of this will be very similar to what we did on the Program tab in our previous videos, so if you haven't taken a look at those, go ahead, pause this video now, jump back, take a look at those Program tab videos, then come back to this one. Let's get started. So from the home page, we're going to click on the Referral tab right here at the top. Now the first screen you see is just blank, and it gives you some search options. Now these are very similar to what we saw before in the Program tab. I always recommend, before you just go ahead and add a new client in, search for that client, see if they're in the system already. That'll keep duplicates from being in your system. Since I know we're going to go ahead and add one anyway, we're going to go ahead and skip that for today. To add a client, we go to the Add Referral / Client button right here. Click the green button. Now this one's going to be staff performed. On the Oklahoma's page, we also have the online system active, so online families can get on and create their own profile. A lot of times they will call us then if they're not finding what they're looking for, but for this particular video, we're adding it. It's a referral type of staff performed. We don't have the option of changing that. So it asks a few basic questions just to get started. First name, last name, telephone number, and email. Obviously, these two are not real, so please don't try to call or send an email to that address. It won't work. Once you get this basic information in, you can hit Add. Give it a couple seconds, and it will create a new referral profile in the system. And it's just very, very basic right now. Up here at the top, we have the record ID. This is the unique identifier within the system. The name. This space will have the address once we add that in, their phone number, their email address, and what type of account it is, whether it was staff performed or whether it was an online. Over here in the action log, just like in the program profiles, there are certain ones that are added automatically by the system. The specialist added referral is an automatic one. We also have a list of ones that the specialists can add manually. These are what we use here in Oklahoma. Your area may or may not have similar action logs that you use. The status is just like it was for the Program tab. It's either active or inactive. Because we just created this one, it is obviously active. So at the very beginning, we have the My Account tab, intake type. Here in Oklahoma, we have two choices, telephone and walk-in. That may or may not coincide with what you have, but it'll be something similar. Client type, these are regions in our state. What part of the state are they calling from? We'll just say Oklahoma City for this one. Now, Jane Doe, the email, brings all that over from that first screen. Login password, that is masked for the customer's protection. You can give them a temporary password if you need to. However, WLS does have the option for them to reset it on their own, and I highly recommend you use that as much as possible. You don't have to get an exact address, but if you can, it makes the radius search work a lot better for the client. We'll leave that where it is. The city, if you noticed, I typed it in and tabbed out, and it deleted it. That's a data verification process that the system uses to make sure everything is clean and tidy. So once you start typing it in, you will actually see it appear in a drop-down menu. You have to click that for this field to populate. I do get calls about this from clients occasionally that they're having problems getting that to stick, and it's almost always because they're not clicking on the name of their town from the drop-down box. In the county box, we have the same thing. You start to type the county, this drop box will come down. You have to click on it to select that county. The region box will populate when we hit the save button. It's based on the county selection. If they have any of this other information, that's great to get as well. This is some of the information we try to keep track of just so we know where our demand is coming from. We'll just kind of randomly pick a couple things here just for giggles and grins. Down at the very bottom, there's some space to add information about the children. This just helps really make sure we're getting appropriate care for their child. We'll say there too. When do they want care to start? We'll say next Monday. And age group, they're going to be in that age group. We hit save, and it tells us exactly how old they are based on the birth date that they get in. Now from that, we hit the save button, and it will automatically update their profile, but then it will also take us over to the search tab. Now this is where we start our very basic search. No, I do not want to save the password. Where we start the very basic search for their child care. So here in Oklahoma, we have a number of different options. These top three are the most common. Now, as you click on these, we get a location-based search as well, and this carries over from that account information that we just typed in. And we can tell it up to 60 miles how far away we want to search. Now, Oklahoma City is pretty high density, so we'll just say within 5 miles and leave it at that. We can hit find, and it will populate a list of all of those child care providers in 5 miles. Now, according to this, there's 113 results. That's pretty good. As you look at this, you'll notice a few things. Default sorting is by our QRIS level. Here we use a star rating, and it displays the highest rated first, and then by distance. And as I page down through here, you can kind of see that flows. Towards the bottom, we start to see 2 stars, and they're a little closer to us, but they're a lower QRIS rating. And there are multiple pages, and you'll see that at the very bottom. Now, to get a little bit more drilled in, on the left-hand side here, you'll see some tabs that allow you to select things that are in their profile that the parent might be looking for. So one of the things we see a lot is this funding sources. If you click on that, these should look very familiar from what we did in the program tab. They will match what is in your program profile to what the parent is searching for. So DHS subsidy is one that we see a lot here in Oklahoma. So once you've selected a limiter on the left, you can either come back up to the top and click on the apply button, or each of these limiter boxes has an update button here on the side, and you can just click on that one. This will further limit the options. See, we went from 113 to 88, and you can use as many or as few of these as you would like to use. Just for giggles, let's do a special needs. Let's say they have a medical special need. We'll click the update button. That drills us down to 60 results from 88. So you can kind of start to pair what your client really needs with what you're searching for. Once we've pared it down here in Oklahoma, what we like to do is favorite these. To do that, in the upper left-hand corner of each of these mini profiles is a little file button with a green plus, and you can see the subtext. Click to add to My Favorites tab. Click on a few of these. Here in Oklahoma, we give at least 3 recommendations to everyone, but on a big result list like this, we'll probably send them the first 10. Once you have 10 of these clicked to add to their favorites tab, we can actually go see those over in My Favorites, see which ones are here, and then under the share, we can print those or we can email those to the clients. Here in Oklahoma, email is our primary method of sending these out. We send out several a day by email. When you click on email, the email will auto-populate based on their profile, and then we just have a thank you message that we send out as well. Click on the blue send button, and that will send that email out. If they call back, say, I didn't find what I was looking for, go back to their search results, and you can add a couple more. Back into their favorites, and then under the favorites, you can select those that you haven't emailed yet, and it will cut these down to a list of providers that have not been emailed to that particular client yet. Now, obviously, since we didn't send an actual email before, all of these are still in the list. But you would share those just the same way, clicking on the share button and then print or email. So that's the basic entering of a referral, searching for programs. Pretty straightforward. It's very similar to what we saw in the program tab before. Couple of other tabs here in the referral profile. The consumer education, these are customized for you, and these are the things that you would want your clients to have access to for consumer education. Here in Oklahoma, we have a list of things that we send out that they can click on and check out to learn more about childcare, choosing quality childcare, all of that kind of information, what the licensing information is in Oklahoma, matching your child's needs, which we help them with, all of that fun stuff. And we also offer those same things in Spanish in Oklahoma. And again, these will be different based on your area. The Ask Us, this is just our contact information, who to contact, who to call for more information if you need help finding childcare. And then we have a few feedback and follow-up questions that they can go in and answer. So guys, that's it for the referral tab. Come back next time. We will take a look at how to search referrals and how to get data out of the referral tab to find out the number of referrals you're seeing in certain areas, certain demands you might need to meet, and so forth. So once again, thanks for coming in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. We'll see you next time.